Yo, yo, yo. Sorry, guys. Rough day, dude. Rough morning, rough night. I do apologize. I know the break screen was up there for a bit. I'm really, really sorry. I'm trying to be pretty good about being able to switch over and get this started as soon as the montage is done and everything. It's been a weekend, dude, and been a rough night. So I apologize, man. Well, yeah, we had a death in the family, so it was not a whole lot of sleep last night. Bit of a rough morning and everything too. So, sorry, I apologize. What is going on here? This is weird. What's going on? Should have music going too, and the music's all bonked. So it's gonna be a day, dude. It's gonna be a day. So, give me 1 second, man. We'll get this popping. We'll discuss how this week's going to go because there's probably going to be some more time off coming up, probably closer to the end of this week. What is happening, dude? Let's go. Let's get some tunes going. We need the tunes this morning. We gotta get the vibes popping, dude. There we go. Yeah, let's get these vibes popping. All right. So, yeah, I really, really apologize, dude. It was a late start this morning, man. And then just break screen being up after montage and stuff. I'm really sorry, guys. Sorry about the stream being down this weekend. We did have we needed to go see family. We had an illness in the family, yeah, and so we did have a family member pass last night. And so, there's probably going to be some more time off before the stream coming up soon. I can guarantee it, actually. There'll be, it'll probably be this weekend, more than likely again. So, I'm sorry. It's one of those things. Family's important. And, I would just ask everybody's understanding about, dealing with this kind of thing. It's never fun. And I think looking on the positive side of it. Oh, no. I don't need to do that. No, I don't need to do that. It's just, it's just one of those times. It's just kind of difficult for everybody and, the family and stuff. And I think trying to look on the glass is half full side. I mean, individual had a very long life, Bob. So what we'll do this week is in memory of Bob, dude, we'll use a lot of Pixel Bob and the Bob Ross emotes. We'll use Bob Ross emotes in tribute to my family member that died, Bob. Really good dude, and but had a really long life. Why do you want me not to stream, Soup? What's going on, dude? You don't want me to stream? Why are you trying to keep me from streaming, dude? What are you doing? But yeah, I figure, I'll take the appropriate time off. Don't worry about that. I'll take the appropriate time off. I'll take the amount of time off that I need to take off. Don't worry about that. But, it's just, it's one of those things that, we needed to be there for the family this weekend and because we knew it was probably getting close. And it was good to be there this weekend, but the fact that our family member has passed, means that this we're gonna have to take some more time off coming up to attend memorial services and stuff for Bob. Okay, so yeah, I saw that, dude. Script kids is what they were calling them. Yeah, script kids. Yeah. There you go, Pinky. Nice, dude. Perfect, dude. The Kappa Ross works too. Yo, thanks, buddy. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw that they were calling them script kids, right? Yeah, I saw that, dude. So, I was kind of wondering if it wasn't some kind of like cheater thing or something like that, I was wondering if that might have been the case. But again, you know, that comes along with the territory of a new game coming out using non-official servers, potentially even official servers. You know, there's going to be issues of, you know, a new game, indie developer, small team, not being able to maybe catch, you know, playing that cat and mouse game stuff. You know what I mean? So I saw that, dude. I saw that. Yeah. How you doing, Pinky? So again, back to what I said. We'll just try to dedicate this week's stream in memory to my family member that passed, and you know, he was a really good dude, but he had a long life. You know what I mean? I think that you got to look at the positive side of it. A lot of times, it's never fun dealing with the loss of somebody who's meant something. You know what I mean? So much to so many people. Actually, in this case, especially, meant so much to so many people. It's hard to lose that. You know. It really is, but whenever you look at the grand scheme of things, had a good life, good long life, and you know, now that, you know, I won't have to deal with potentially any more, you know, suffering or anything like that, and is you know, it's just, I think that's the way you got to look at it quite often. And so we'll dedicate this week to Bob and super time exhausted. Really, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. So, you know, for this week we'll try to do our best to use Bob Ross emotes in memory of my family member. If we could do that, that'd be great, man. And I'd really appreciate that. So I do apologize for this morning being a bit rough of a start and everything. I'm totally dead, man. I'm just exhausted and but we'll have a good day, dude. We always do. And I'm sorry for the stream being down all week and everything too, or all weekend, and I'm sorry for the fact that we'll have to miss more time coming up, but I'll take the appropriate amount of time off, and just appreciate everybody's understanding in advance for the fact that, you know, this is something sensitive and appropriate for me to have to take time off for, you know what I mean? Let's paint with OA. Yeah, let's go, dude. Yeah, let's go. So on that note, man, we've got video gaming news for today, February 5th, and we'll get into that in just a moment, and then we'll probably jump into more Fallout New Vegas, man. Fallout New Vegas will be another thing today, so we'll try to get Fallout New Vegas finished before we start jumping into more games coming up. We got games coming up towards the end of this month. Even Helldivers 2 comes out on the 8th, I'm pretty sure. I was wanting to take a look at that, maybe. Soup, that's one of those things that, again, I think that for each individual person, you have to have some kind of tiered list of what you're most interested in playing. That's all it comes down to, really. That's the only way you can really address it. Unless you're somebody that only plays a specific niche type of game or genre of game. Yo, Pinky, did you see that game I sent you, by the way? Did you see that game I sent you in Discord? What'd you think of that, man? Yo. You shake weight jam. Yeah. Booty, baby.
Are pretty funny, Gabs.
You have it saved? Yeah. It looked like something right up your alley. What up, Ferret? Yo, dude. Yeah, it looked like something right, dude. I saw that game when we did the news the other day, and I was like, oh, bro, this is Pinky's jam right here, dog. Like, dude, he's got to see that. I looked first to make sure you didn't already have it wish listed, but you didn't. So I was like, he might not know about this yet. So, I was like, this is right up his alley, man. At least it seemed to be, anyways. Yeah, so I mean, managing the backlog is I think for each individual person it's different, you know. The manual entry of over 2,000 rows of data. Oh, those are always fun. Yeah, trying to find a way to automate that is always the way. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Yeah. Good luck, brother. I hope you figure it out. So for myself, being somebody that plays most genres of games and a variety of games on the constant, I think the best way to approach it is, what do you want to play the most? That's all you really can do. You can't get caught up in the, oh, I'm missing out on this, I'm missing out on this, I'm missing out on this. You're always going to feel that way, you know? Yeah. Yeah, fair, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable, you know, with the amount of games that are always releasing and the amount of games that you want to try. You know, I think one of the things that you need to focus on is listening more to my advice and quit trying to play games like Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? That'll save you a little bit of heartache in the long run. Yo, 1 second, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's the only really way that you can approach it without just letting it consume you, you know. Unless, and I mean, everybody does games. I'm not one of those types of people that likes to play a lot of games concurrently. I like to kind of try to play 1 or 2 games and finish them up concurrently before I move on to anything else. You know what I mean? I don't like to play a whole lot of games at the same time. I've been guilty of it from time to time just because of the way the schedule has worked out for us here in the channel. But I think that's the best way you can approach it. You gotta play what you're most interested in and just focus on that. You can't focus on what you're missing. You know what I mean? If you do, it'll just eat you alive. There's just too much. But Suicide Squad is one of the games ever made. It is one of the games ever made. You're right. Yo, we actually need to take a look at like what the Metacritic is on it now that I'm back, you know? It was already not very good before I left, but the day I left was the day that it had full release. Oh, god dang it. Bruh. I mean, hate to be that dude, you know, but told you so. It literally got worse. Literally got worse on the Metascore, and the user score's even way below, you know, what I even expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be good, but, you know. Yeah, I think this is what I was talking about too. I was telling everybody this. I think the most disappointing thing about this is to see a game like this come out of Rocksteady, a game that so many people fell in love with, you know, or a developer so many people fell in love with because of what they did previously in the Batman Arkham series. This is really, really disappointing. You know, this hurts a lot of people's feelings. It hurts a lot of people's feelings to see a company like Rocksteady have turned into something like this. But look, man, you've got to, in part, thank WB for this too. I think you can't just lay all the blame on Rocksteady. I think a lot of this is due to WB. WB, look, and get ready for it, man. Get ready for it. Warner Brothers has been very, very, very vocal and very open about the fact that they want most of their titles being live service, games as a service. They want their portfolio to be games as a service, which is what this is for them. So, I mean, if this is what they're going to be bringing to the table, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that every game they come out with will be this bad, but this is their play. Right, this is their play. This is what they, yeah, working out well, right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is what it's so for people that are fans of the IPs, the licenses, you know, the rights of the universes that they own and stuff. WB owns a lot of them. You know, this is a very bad look. It's a very bad look. So for people that are fans of those franchises and universes and things like that WB owns, I think you need to just be prepared and embrace for the suck that is coming, more than likely, for what the video game, as far as entertainment is concerned, video games are going to hold for your franchises for moving forward if it's coming out from underneath WB, man. This is what you have to look forward to. Games that are released at a AAA price tag, riddled with monetization, and that's all they care about. I think this is what you have in store. Unfortunately, let's see what we got, man. We need to look at over the weekend too. So let's go from the 3rd till today. See what we can find. Did you see those two? Oh yeah, the ones you put in chat. No, I hadn't seen those. Hold on, I forgot to grab them, dude. Sorry, I was so sidetracked. What are these, dude? I'm not really all that surprised at this, but yo, thanks for this. Oh, we already talked about this, dude. Yeah, we already talked about the Final Fantasy 17 thing. Yeah, we talked about that about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I hadn't seen this yet, though. I've already talked about you're baiting me, dude. I don't see this as PlayStation wins. I see this as Xbox wins. We've talked about this. Xbox is being the more progressive player in the industry across this front. People are going to see Xbox as the one where they can still play. They can play Xbox's games on any platform. People have been pissed forever. People have been pissed forever. No matter what console you were a part of and you were a fan of or whatever, people have been pissed whenever you couldn't play a game that looked good on another platform. Microsoft's done playing that game. They are getting their brand out there, Xbox, in front of everybody. They're a more progressive company on the front of gaming than either one of these consoles. And look, they've never done as good. I talked about this the other day, dude. They've never done, it's easy. It's been easier for them to transition over onto this kind of strategy than it would be for PlayStation or Nintendo, because they haven't done as successful as Nintendo or PlayStation has on the front of hardware sales and proprietary software sales, right? But the way that Xbox has remained competitive is because they have developed more unique, progressive services and things like that than any of the other platforms have. They are changing the landscape of gaming and what it has ever been above what PlayStation and Nintendo are. PlayStation and Nintendo are just staying traditional. They don't want things to change. They have tried to make things stay the same way they've been forever, ever, right? And now you've seen them follow in Microsoft's footsteps to an extent, but they still won't totally change over. I'll give you an example. Game Pass came out, 2017? Finally, PlayStation has released something over the past year and a half to fairly resemble a similar kind of subscription service, right? But there's one key thing missing that they will not do, that Microsoft has been doing forever, and that is releasing their first-party games day one. Now, I'll say this. If Microsoft isn't developing good first-party games, then it doesn't really matter, right? I know that. But when they are, it does make a difference. And PlayStation's been very vocal about saying things like, we will never, ever do that, because they don't want to change. Now, here's the thing about Xbox. Xbox is done playing the traditional hardware sales, proprietary software sales game. They've been done for a while. They're just formally kind of officially announcing it and confronting it, right? So when you look at Nintendo and PlayStation, and they're going to sit here in this traditional way that they've addressed the market in the industry for such a long time, and Xbox has changed things with subscription service and cloud gaming and you name it, right? While PlayStation and Nintendo continue to just sit back there and sit still with time, and they're not moving forward, and they're staying the same way they always have been. Microsoft is continuing to change with the way that, you know, they're changing the way gaming is accessed and the way people play games, and so they want their brand in front of people. They're making it to where people can access Xbox anywhere on any platform at any time, whereas PlayStation and Nintendo are still those companies where people are going to go, oh, here we go again. I can only play Nintendo if I buy Nintendo. I can only play PlayStation if I buy PlayStation. And it pisses people off, right? Xbox is done. They've moved on. They're showing people that they don't care about that anymore. They're going to give people access to their content no matter what platform you're on, right? So that's where it's a win for Xbox and Microsoft, dude. They're showing people that they're no longer playing that game. They're not going to make people, yo, you have to have Xbox hardware to play our games and stuff. That's not what they're doing anymore. You can play look at us. You know what I mean? You can play our content no matter what hardware you have. This is them showing everybody that they are a more consumer-friendly brand than any of those other competitors that they have, right? It's a strategy, dude. It's a strategy. You see it as a win because you're a PlayStation fan. And you're like, I'll be able to access Xbox games on my PlayStation now. You're seeing it from a PlayStation hardware purchaser, consumer's point of view, right? Not the meta of what's going on in the entire industry, right? Triple Xbox win. No, I'm not making you the villain. I'm just saying you've got to look at it from a meta perspective of what this does for the entire industry, not just from a singular, like, I'm a consumer of this specific platform and what it does for me. You've got to look at it at what it is for the entire industry and what it's doing and progressing and changing things, right? Not just from a singular perspective of, I'm a consumer of this particular piece of hardware and that's my hardware winning because now they get to play, Xbox. You've got to look at the bigger picture, dude. That's what it is. Time is going to tell how well it plays out. I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to be successful, but I do see it as a smarter play for Xbox. They've been in a better position to transition this way, right? It's smart for Xbox to do this. The games aren't selling well? Dude, Starfield actually sold really well. And that's another thing. The more platforms that a game is on, the more it sells. Right? Which is another smart strategy. We've talked about this before about Nintendo and Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. The more platforms, and look, PlayStation's slowly going that way too. They've been putting their games on PC for a while now. They're just really, really reluctant to do it. They're getting faster about it, but they've been reluctant for a long time. The pandemic's really what pushed them into this notion of, hey, we need to be, our sales are lacking. We've got to get our stuff onto another platform, right? So the more platform, we talk about this a lot when you talk about like yearly sales, what games have done well, what games have not, you know what I mean? You look at the top selling games of each year and stuff like that. Tears of the Kingdom would have probably outsold every game last year. That's exactly right. You know what I mean? Tears of the Kingdom probably would have outsold every single game last year. I don't think that Hogwarts Legacy would have beat it. I really don't. But that's the issue that PlayStation and Nintendo are going to continue to deal with the sales of their games. They're gate kept on that front as well. Do they still make money? You know, this is the game they play, right? This is the game they play. We only release our hardware or our software, proprietary software, first-party software on our hardware to make people buy our hardware. But we also don't get as much software sales because our software is not on other platforms, right? It's a two-fielded game that you're playing, right? So, you know, for them, they see it as still being more lucrative to make sure people are playing on their hardware. They want people buying their hardware. Whereas this is what I was saying before. It makes more sense for Xbox for sure to have pivoted into this notion of not worrying about hardware sales anymore because they've always been outsold. They've never done very well on hardware sales. Ever. You can look how much money they make off of a Series X or Series S. Dude, it's literally nothing. It's nominal. It's nothing. They don't make any money even on their sales. And then they sell half as much as PlayStation and Nintendo do. They always have. So for Xbox, it's been really easy to go, yo, we need to get out of this race. We need to get out of this hardware race, right? And now they're going, well, if we need to get out of the hardware race, what do? We put our software on all the other platforms. We get PlayStation to go, yeah, we'll put your stuff on our platform. We get Nintendo to go, yeah, we'll put your stuff on our platform. What's that do? It puts Xbox's brand in front of everybody. That's brand recognition. It's more sales across more pieces of hardware. It's a win for Xbox, dude. It's a win for Xbox. It's smart by them. They were in a different position than PlayStation and Nintendo were too, though. It's easier for them to pivot into this kind of direction than Nintendo and PlayStation. Nintendo and PlayStation have still done very well on hardware and sales and proprietary software. So, but times are changing, and people have forever ever hated the proprietary software stuff. And I think more and more people have gotten reluctant to buy into hardware just for a game or two, right? So, like, I can tell you specifically myself, I know Ferret has gone the same way. There are a lot of people that have gone, it's not worth it anymore. It's not worth it to spend, $500 to $600 on a piece of hardware for one or two games I'm going to buy over the, lifetime of that hardware just to play it on release. It just doesn't make sense anymore. So people's mentality, I think, in large part are changing too, if they're not solely a player of that platform. The people that have bought into, like, I'm a PlayStation gamer and they don't play on any other platform, they're going to continue to buy that stuff. The people that have bought into the I'm a, Nintendo gamer and they don't really play on anything else, they're going to continue to buy that, right? There's no doubt about it. So there's a lot of different things to take into consideration when you talk about these kinds of things and the way that the console market has worked. The console competitors have kind of pushed their products out in a competitive way against each other and things like that, right? But I think this is a very smart thing for Xbox, and I don't think that you can go, it's PlayStation winning. I think that there's something to be said for both sides having something to gain by it. But I think this is Xbox being very smart, and this is something that can lead to them being a better competitor in the console market, if you will, than they have been in the past. World war mentality? You mean the console war mentality? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know what you mean. Wouldn't it, like, ruin the purpose of Nintendo having a Nintendo console for their exclusives? Well, yeah, it would. If Nintendo, that's why Nintendo and so PlayStation's not that far off from Nintendo either, really, though. I mean, it's not. In some ways they are, in some ways they aren't. Nintendo has there's such a large percentage of their software that's proprietary, right? So it's I think PlayStation would fold way before Nintendo would. Yeah. PlayStation would fold way before Nintendo would, I think. Because Nintendo has this lock, dude. But we've talked about it. Nintendo sits in this like niche little bubble too, where they've built themselves this like unpenetrable little kind of area of like a force field that they sit in that nobody else can really dive into and be a part of and stuff, and that's why I don't really ever see Nintendo being in a spot to be as I guess see themselves in the same light as like Xbox sees themselves right now, right? To where they need to push their stuff out onto another platform or anything. They do too well. They have too many great pieces of software that are proprietary that people have, I mean, I can attest to this. I don't even play console anymore. You know what I mean? Really. But the one that I continue to buy into year on end is Nintendo. I continue to buy Nintendo consoles. And I find Nintendo to be the scummiest of all of them. Of the console players. Of the console competitors in the gaming industry, Nintendo is, I think, the grossest of all of them. But I continue to buy into it. Part of it's because I have kids, but it's almost unavoidable. They've set themselves up very smartly. It's been a very intelligent play over the years of how they've set themselves up in the industry to be in this position they're currently in. And, but again, I don't know. There's a lot to look at and a lot to talk about there. I think it's good all the way around, really. I think it's good all the way around. I don't think that it's just a PlayStation wins kind of scenario, though. You know what I mean? But, I mean, you know what's so great about this? That, PlayStation players will now be able to see just how bare this universe is. Just like everybody else has been able to on PC and Xbox. Yo, thanks, Soup. I appreciate it. Yo, Amazon's got a buy one, get one free sale right now. That's cool. Oh, man. See, no, you're just upset because whenever Starfield came out, you wanted to play it so bad. But you're a PlayStation guy, right? So that's why you're upset. You can call me a noob all you want, but dude, I see through this facade. All right? I see through this. There's that same thing right there. We'll look at the one that Soup sent me, though. Gamba in video games. Yeah. You gotta be careful, dude. Gotta be careful. Dude, Soup has chosen violence again. Soup. It's a violent Soup. Yo, what up, True? What it do, friendo? Oh, dude. Yo, True. If you hadn't heard, and Pinky and I were talking about this morning, I saw some stuff over the weekend popping up on our server Discord for Pal World and everything. There were apparently a bunch of basically cheaters in the world that were running scripts and stuff that were just obliterating people's. I don't know everything. I just saw some quick snippets of them talking about. They were calling them script kids. People were coming in to unprotected servers running scripts that were somehow, some way, just killing people's bases and stuff. And that's what happened to us. Looking mighty cute, dude. I look mighty tired. You look super adorbs yourself, though. Yeah. I was wondering if that might have been what was happening to us, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I was like, I'll just be done now. But yeah, can confirm, and Pinky confirmed it this morning too. Yeah. Yeah, so for anybody that hasn't heard, we had so we were gone all weekend, and then yesterday we had a death in the family and stuff. So so we're gonna be running any kind of Bob Ross emote. Our family member's name was Bob. He was a really, really good dude, and so for this week we're gonna yeah, thanks Farrah, I appreciate it. Yeah, private servers or official servers. Yeah, agreed. But it was a weird situation with the way that game came out. You know what I mean? The way that game came out, there was just a lot of weirdness about the way the servers were working and stuff. So again, I'll probably play the game again once it has more time to bake, and you know, it's closer to a full release and stuff. So it'll be a better experience then. Yeah. Thanks. I appreciate it, guys. I think you know, I'm not like trying to play towards, you know, sympathy and stuff. I think you know, trying to maintain a positive attitude about the fact, yeah, Bob had a very long life. He was you know, he had some age underneath him, and but Bob was a good dude. You know, Bob was a good dude. Yeah. And so, thanks, True, thanks. Yeah, so I was just gonna, you know, kind of ask everybody to keep my family in your mind and in your thoughts, and if we could, you know, just run some Bob Ross emotes this weekend, and you know, in memory of our family member, you know, in tribute to Bob, dude, that would be really, really great. So on another front, you know, I'll probably have some more time off coming up at the end of this week for memorial services and stuff like that, you know. So it'll be one of those deals where, you know, I'll just have to go ahead and apologize in advance again. It's family's very important. It's never fun for me to miss time hanging out with you guys and doing what I love to do, but family's important. And so this once we find out whenever the services are and everything, we'll be probably having to take a little bit more time off, you know what I mean? So just be aware that's going to be a thing coming up. I don't know yet when it's happening, but just, you know, just again, Bob was an awesome dude. Bob lived a long life, and you know, I think that towards the end there, you know, I think it started getting pretty uncomfortable and stuff, and you know, I think once you see that kind of thing happening, it's at the age that Bob was at, to still be as of sound mind and physically capable as he was actually really impressive. It really was. I think that it's a rarity to see somebody of that age, you know, 90 plus, but an amazing individual. It's a terrible thing for people to deal with, you know, somebody that's had that much of an impact on their lives, and just see people hurt because they're gone, you know, and but I think, you know, you gotta try to look at the positives of who they were while they were here, and remember the good times and things like that, you know. So, but it's a struggle for a lot of the family and stuff. He was an amazing person, and but I think that, you know, just knowing that, you know, no longer, you know, in any kind of pain or suffering or you know, degrading health or anything like that, you know. Yeah, very long life. Yeah. So again, it's just, death is a brutal thing for people to deal with quite often, you know, no matter what. It's always more rough at a younger age, I think, you know. It's easier to deal with when you're, you know, kind of prepared for it to an extent, but you can't ever really prepare for it that well, you know, most people anyways. Death is always something that I think a lot of people struggle to handle very well. It's just that fact of, you know, being without the people that you've had in your life and the people you care about. It's not a real easy thing to deal with, and you know, so I don't know, it'll be okay though, you know. But that's why I think that you know, this week, if we could just rock those Bob Ross emotes, man, in tribute to Bob, man, that would be awesome. I would appreciate that. So let's keep going here and see what we got. I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out, like, what days I'll be down. You know, the stream will be down and stuff, and I'll try to make you. I'll let everybody know. It's like As soon as I can. Okay, as early as I can. Oh my God, hockey's back tomorrow. Oh, praise the hockey gods, dude. Bob Howard passed yesterday too. Really interesting. Wow, didn't know that. 2025 is near for that one Forbidden Game. Well, rip to Bob Howard also, dude. Well, then there's 2 reasons to be spamming the Bob Ross emotes, I guess, huh? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know who Bob Howard is, yeah. Really? Oh, yeah, Carl Weathers was just a few days ago, though, right? He was, like, right at the beginning of the weekend, correct? That's the same person. Yeah, Carl Weathers, yeah. Chubbs. From Happy Gilmore, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Yeah. Apollo Creed, that's right. That's where most people know him from. Apollo Creed. He was jacked back then, boy. He was jacked, son. He's supposed to be a really good dude. Your TikTok brain has no idea what's going on? Yeah. Talking about, there's a couple of famous people that passed here recently, too. Recent people would know him from Mandalorian, you're right. Yep. Interesting, dude. Yeah. Yeah, crazy, man. He was only like 70 something, right? Like 75, 76, I think. How old was Carl Weathers was only in his mid 70s. What about Bob Howard? How old was he? Yeah, 76 is what I thought. Sure. Yeah, thanks, Soup. Yeah. 81. Yeah. Yep. Dude, for a football player from back then, that's a pretty good flipping age. Football players from back then, boy, a lot of them didn't make it very long. Mostly because of brain injuries and stuff. Yeah. Ice cream for sure. Yeah. Time to get salad and ice cream. What are you like trying to balance out the bad with the good there? Is that what that is? Oh. Oh man. Wait, what? Xbox claims Surface Online pointing to a bleak landscape. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, I read it wrong. Okay. We've got that up from Soup. Crown Wars Black Prince. We've seen that, haven't we? Yeah, you're not wrong, True. You're not wrong. NASCAR is still a thing, dude. I thought NASCAR kind of died. One of the best PS games, free for only 24 hours on PS Plus. Let's see what that is. Call of Duty to embrace open world campaigns in Black Ops, Gulf War, and beyond. Let's see what that says. Call of... You spelled it wrong, dude. It's supposed to be this. Or no, this. I did it wrong. Duty. There we go. Call of Duty. Like poop. Oh man, I'm so tired. I tell you, bro, I'm so tired. God dang it, dude. No amount of coffee is gonna fix this today, by the way. Get ready for some wild flipping Fallout New Vegas stuff, dude. GameStop has some Switch games for $2. See what those are. Power Rangers might be coming to Fortnite. It's morphin' time. Why it's time for a new Deadpool game? There's sorry guys. It almost feels like the only company that should be doing Deadpool is Insomniac, right? Because Deadpool and Wolverine are so closely tied, right? In the movie universe. Feels like the only company that should be doing Deadpool is Insomniac. Oh, good night. Every day I'm struggling. Stay away from Skull and Bones till it releases and we find out how good it's going to be. Avowed. I'm going to wait on that one too. No, I didn't really watch it. You know what I did watch? Who was it? Kucherov doing the competition. Yeah. I know. It was just, you know, the weekend was kind of crazy for me. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have a chance to watch much of it or anything. I saw some replays of Salsa. Yeah, I knew Ottinger was in it. But I did see like saw some. God dang it, Soup! You're so crazy. I saw some. What was it? Kucherov. I think it was Kucherov, dude, doing the skills competition, and he was just like out there like ho humming it. You know what I mean? He wasn't even trying. Dude, he was trolling out so hard, and then all the fans were like booing him, and he like waved at all of them at the end. Bro, that was so great. That was like so good, dude. I immediately became a Kucherov fan, dude. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome, dude. So good. So good. Like, how awesome was that? You know? You could tell that he just did not give a crap. Yeah, he didn't want to be there, dude. You know? I have to imagine that, like, it's not, you know, it can't feel real fair. It can't feel real fair for these guys that, like, don't get to have, like, that week-long break to just spend with their families and do what they want. You know what I mean? They have to attend the All-Star game. It's like, bro, get wrecked. When Nintendo? Yeah, about 6 months, roughly. Close to that. I think for some of the guys probably enjoy it okay, you know. But that like mid-season break there that a lot of guys get, most of the guys get that play in the NHL, they get a break, you know. They get a break to relax, see their families, maybe take a little vacation or something. Lethal Company's consuming my sleep. Dude, I've been watching some Lethal Company like clips and stuff. It looks hilarious, dog. It looks so flippin' funny, dude. I'll probably end up playing it during Scaretober. Scaretober will probably be a thing for us. Yeah, I have to imagine there are like a number of the guys that just, you know, they're kind of peeved they even have to be there, you know. They would rather not do the All-Star game. Now, here's the thing that sucks. You have 30 minutes of clips? Nice, dude. Yeah, I've watched a bunch of stuff on YouTube. They keep coming, because every time they come up on like, because I'll get on YouTube every once in a while and just like go through shorts, you know. And they'll come up, and dude, I always just watch these Lethal Company shorts because they're a riot. They look so funny, man. So I'll end up playing some of it in October. We'll have some fun with it. They don't get a break. I think this is the thing. I don't even think that you can say no. If you get voted into the All-Star game, I don't think you can say no, can you? I don't think you can be like, nah, not going to make it. Right? You'll probably get a big ass fine from the NHL. I'm guessing. So it's not like they even have a say. It's not like they go, we want you to be in the All-Star game, and then you're like, nah, I'd rather have the break. It's not like you have any say in it. You know what I mean? Which is balls. You know, that sucks. That sucks. You know? I think that's the way that works, which is terrible. One of Steam's best building games finally getting full release in 2024. Let's see what this is. Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6 now seems much more likely to release for PS5. Everything that's going to be an Xbox game, you know, is much more likely to hit PlayStation for sure. Ah, you're a trip, dude. Why do you have so much love for PlayStation? What is it? Fill me in. Why do you have so much love for PlayStation? Why? I mean, it's a company that hasn't been real great about the way they take care of their consumers. So what is it? Fill me in, Soup. Convince me, man. Convince me. Why though? No, the gamer's platform is PC. Sorry. Gamer's platform is PC, dude. There you go, Aaron. The design? Get out of here with that. That's the best you can come up with to try and convince me? Come on, Soup. You can do better than that, dude. I thought you chose violence this morning, dude. You can do better than that. Is monetization ruining fighting games? Monetization is ruining most games. I don't think it ruins all games. I don't think it ruins all games. I think it ruins most games. Monetization is actually very good for some games. So I'd be careful on that one. It's very good for some games. Some games are free to play. Very well developed free to play games, right? So monetization has been something that has provided free to play games, people for, you know, a free way to access great gaming content, and still provided a way for developers to be able to make money and sustain those projects and things like that, right? Yeah, so not all. but most, I would agree with that. That's all you got, Soup? First party games? I've already talked about this before. I think Nintendo's the only one that has enough of a first party proprietary software good enough and enough of a first party proprietary software collection to prompt anybody to buy into their hardware. I don't think PlayStation is good enough. I don't think Xbox is good enough either. So that's not going to be a good enough argument for me. And look, dude, I mean, you're talking to somebody that, I mean, I love, like, 2018's God of War, you know? Love that game. I love the Final Fantasy games and stuff, but I'll wait for PC. You know? I don't need that hardware anymore. Spider-Man and Wolverine? I don't care about Spider-Man. Wolverine, I do. But guess what? I'll wait for PC. It's not enough to prompt me to buy that hardware. Just like there's nothing on Xbox that's good enough to prompt me to buy that hardware. I think a lot of people have gotten to that place. Anybody, like I said, I think before, there's a lot of people that are multi-platform, game players that have gotten to the point with consoles anymore. They just don't buy into them. It's not worth it. Especially now that most PlayStation games do eventually hit PC. And Xbox has always hit PC, and Nintendo's really the only one. I don't think you're wrong. I think PlayStation is a better platform for first party games, though. I think that PlayStation's a better platform for first party games than Xbox is. Now, I think that they traditionally have been. I think that you'll probably see that changing a lot now. Or you could have. Here's the difference being. Over the past half decade, maybe a little bit more than that, you've seen a lot of Xbox getting bigger and Microsoft getting bigger with the purchase of ZeniMax, which brought in Bethesda, Tango, Arcane, you know, things like that. And now they have Activision, Blizzard, you know, they're massive. They have so much just to play with underneath their portfolios and everything, right? Now, it doesn't mean that, so now we know that also, and we're going to talk about this coming up too, we know that they're not worried about proprietary stuff anymore. They're going to be releasing their stuff across all platforms, right? So it's not going to be an issue anymore. But I think that moving forward, they would probably be able to compete more with PlayStation on the front of proprietary software with these companies they own, had they not chosen to pivot in this direction that they're going, right? But I agree with you. I think PlayStation has always done a great job with first-party software. I do. And I think that's why a lot of people buy into their hardware. I just can't. It's not enough. It's not enough like Nintendo is, you know. That Mac gaming? Where's Syek at? What is this? New developer video for Vampire Dynasty. What is that? I'm flipping jamming this morning, dude. Suicide Squad PC requirements. What you need to run the new DC game on your computer. I don't think hardware is going to help you. Oh, man. I mean, yo, Soup, how's the saying go? I told you so. You're just angry because you actually bought the game, dude. And I told you not to. I told you not to, dude. Yeah, I think this is one of those situations where I've actually got that video up on YouTube. It's like, yeah, Nintendo, you know, Pokemon's just pissed off or mad that they haven't done what Pal World is doing. You know what I mean? There's like, you know, of course, Nintendo fans are a little bit upset at that notion. Really, Nintendo fans should be, and Pokemon fans should be happy about this. They should be happy about what Pal World has done. Pal World has shown Nintendo and Pokemon that they need to do better with their games. That's what they've done. You know, is it going to kill the Pokemon franchise? Absolutely not. The Pokemon franchise is too flippin' big. There are too many diehard fans. Too many fans that just will not be able to look at Pokemon as ever have done anything wrong. You know, it's Pokemon, dude. It's too big. But they should be looking at the fact that Pal World has done something to probably help the Pokemon franchise. They've probably done something here to make Pokemon and Nintendo take a really hard look at why they have always just done the same crap in the Pokemon games instead of doing something more progressive at some point and moving more towards what like Pal World is. So I think you'll see these games kind of evolving more now because of Pal World, which is a win for everybody. You know, Pal World's not going to kill Pokemon, but I think that Pal World has shown a very bright light on, you know, maybe some flaws that Nintendo and Pokemon have had with the Pokemon franchise in the gaming side of entertainment for a good number of years now, which is good on Pal World, dude. I'm glad Pal World's so successful. We need something else, you know, big like Pokemon to bring some competitiveness into the market. You need competition is good because it prompts companies to do better. You know, better quality, better performance, better, you know, more, better content. I mean, you know, you name it. It's always good to have good competition. You know, this is one of the reasons we talk about this a lot with like EA. EA constantly has just balls ass video games in their sports section because they don't have anybody competing with them. They're terrible. NHL games, crap. Madden games, crap. Their soccer games are crap. It's the same stuff year after year after year after year. They don't evolve them. They don't change them. They don't make them better because they don't need to. They don't have anybody competing with them. They've got it on lock, man. Why would they change it if they don't need to? You know? UFC, give me a break, dude. UFC is a hot, buggy mess, dude, all the time, dog. Get out of here. You're taking up for EA. You really are choosing violence, aren't you? Bro, I just realized that Ferret put a lurk in and that he got who asked. Oh, God. Bro, graphics don't matter if the games are ass. When are people going to understand that? Yeah, you saw that, True? I just now caught it. Dude, he put that lurk in. The emote came up and said, who asked? That's hilarious. I mean, that's the thing that I don't get about people. You know? There's so many people that are like, oh, it looks so good, though. It's like, yeah, but who gives a crap if it plays like ass? It doesn't matter. If the game plays like crap, you're not going to want to play it. So you're not going to want to look at it. So what's it matter? You know what I mean? It's weird because I've had so many people that I've talked to, and I am of the opposite side of the coin there, right? It's like, dude, I could really care less what a game looks like most of the time, as long as it plays very well. It's got great content, very good mechanics, it's very polished, you know what I mean? And then if it looks good on top of that, that's like the cherry on top or whatever, cool. But I don't need that. And then I've talked to so many other people that are like, the first thing I need out of a video game is that it looks good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense to me personally. Because if it doesn't play well, it doesn't have great content, what's it matter if it looks good? Well, it looks like Tencent dismissed more than 120 companies last year for violating anti-fraud rules. That's crazy. Spider-Man 2 devs getting violent threats. Dude, what is happening? Game devs are tired of microtransactions too. Here's the thing. I think that a lot of the actual, if you go down to like a micro level of looking at singular developers, like as people that work as developers on games, not talking about a company, right? Not talking about like a company that is a developer of a video game. That on a singular level of developers that work on games, I think most of them are true video gaming fans. And they just, you know, they're just like anybody else, right? They're just like anybody else. They're just trying their best to find a gig that can, you know, help them pay the bills day in and day out. So quite often they get stuck working on projects they don't necessarily agree with the direction that they move in, right? It's these big companies that make these decisions, the publishers, you know, the heads of the development company that make these decisions about the monetization that happens in the games, and you know, microtransactions and stuff like that, you know. So I have thought that for a long time. It's unfortunate. It has to be soul crushing, you know. I would assume that it has to be absolutely devastating to be a passionate gamer that, you know, has the same kind of sentiments that most of us do in this community, that works on games and actually has to do things like incorporate microtransactions and a ton of monetization in a game and stuff like that when you don't agree with that notion, you know. That has to be a terrible thing to deal with, you know. This world's gonna make my hair fall out. Yeah, I think it gives me headaches a lot. I hope it doesn't make my hair fall out, because dude, I'm not good looking enough with hair. I would be just atrocious without hair. So, well, I'm gonna try to hold on to the hair. But it definitely gives me headaches. I'm gonna turn into One Punch Man after my hair falls out. Oh, dude. Soup. Oh, god dang it, dude. Go another page real quick. His workout is insane. Yeah. I haven't watched a whole lot of that. I've only watched like the majority of the first season, I think. But my son really enjoyed it. We watched it together. Yeah, dude. I've been thinking about getting an actual gamer chair too. Yeah. Did you actually get a 4 terabyte?
Dude, you can't make up your mind about what you want.
Did we talk about this the other day? Destiny 2 releases their final Prime Gaming rewards. I think we were supposed to, and maybe we missed it or something. Or maybe Ferret just told me about it. That's right, Ferrari Dad. Ah, bro. I love it. Like, I've gotten this moniker from Soup as Ferrari Dad. I don't even know how that happened. Bro, kill the Justice League Steam debut lower than Marvel's Avengers. Oh my god, dude, is it really? No flipping way, dude. It's 85%, dog, on Steam. Wait, what? It's 85. I give off that one Ferrari salesperson vibes. What? What do you mean? I don't actually like salespeople. They rub me the wrong way, dude. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the weird thing, though. Is this getting, like... Gameplay becomes repetitive. Told you. That's still way higher than what I expected it to be. I mean, it's saying 85% positive of over 2,500 reviews right now. Is this getting like, because this is, dude, in total contrast to what Metacritic has. Look at Metacritic's 3.8, dude, of 637 user rating. That's totally different, dude. Fake positive reviews, yeah. Repetitive and mediocre. Oh, that's weird. That's quite a difference there. It's kind of odd. Suicide Squad is everything that's wrong with modern video games? Yeah, I knew it would be. Popular Star Wars game is practically being given away for free. Let's see what that is. Bro, Palworld developers reveal staggering $478,000 monthly server costs. Jesus. All right. That's a lot of money. Let's dive into these, dude. Let's dive into these bad boys. PS6? What are you talking about, bro? What do you mean, told me? Yeah, that's a lot of money, dude. $500,000. $500,000 a month for servers. I mean... I never said it wouldn't happen, dude. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're crazy, dude. You call me a nooba. Popular Star Wars game is practically being given away for free on PS4 and PS5 thanks to a new PlayStation Store sale. The game in question is also available on PC and Xbox consoles, but unfortunately for those on these systems, the game is currently full price. In other words, rather than pay $1.99 for the game, you can, like you can on, excuse me, the PlayStation Store, you have to fork over $40. That said, the PlayStation Store deal is only available until February 8th. Wait, what? You're an egg sandwich. Bro, I love egg sandwiches, so I'll take it. The game in question hails from 2020, a year that saw, yeah, what are we talking about? Star Wars Squadrons. $1.99. If you're interested, I will link this to you. Star Wars Squadrons, $1.99. Get it now. Yeah, okay, here's the question though. On an egg sandwich, how do you make it? With the bread, do you toast it? Do you not toast it? Do you put cheese on it? What kind of condiment? How do you make your egg? You know what I mean? That's the question. There's a lot of different ways to make it an egg sandwich, right? How do you make your egg sandwich? I'm not saying necessarily one's right or wrong. Egg sandwich with chicken and... Wait, but which came first, the chicken or the egg, dude? I'm an idiot. Yo. $15 for a flipping sandwich, dude. Jesus Christ. That's craziness, dude. Has to be toasted. Stick to the roof of my mouth. Don't like that. I guess it depends on what kind of bread you're using too, huh? We got some banging sourdough right now. I had a big old dude. You guys should have seen this flipping sourdough sandwich I made yesterday. This thing was like this flipping, this long, dude. It was stacked up like that. It was amazing. Here's the thing about toasted bread. I don't like my toast dark. I like my toast lightly toasted. So that's the way I like my egg sandwiches too. I like it toasted. Do I like my toast? Yeah, you're right. It doesn't need to be toasted if it's sourdough. You're right. But I like my toast to be lightly toasted. I mean, you can just get a hint of some of that color change on there. Just a light brown and I'm good. I don't need more than that. I don't like dark toast. Like that light, that just very, very lightly toasted. So you get that, you know, and then give me some of that sharp cheddar on there. Put some sharp cheddar on my egg sandwich, you know? But this is the key for me. Yeah, I don't want to taste any burnt at all either. That's me too. I don't like burnt bread. I don't like burnt popcorn. Watching somebody eat burnt popcorn makes me want to flipping gag, dude. Oh, God. You ever seen anybody just sit there and eat burnt popcorn? Wow, dude. Wow. It smells like butt, dude. How does anybody eat burnt popcorn? I just don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'll eat most things, but burnt popcorn is one of those things I will not eat, dude. I don't like that stuff. This is the other thing. For my condiment, mayo on one piece of bread, mustard on the other. Mayo and mustard, dude. Yes. If you've never tried it, the half-popped kernels, I like those too, yeah. If you've never tried mayo and mustard on your egg sandwich, do yourself a favor. What is this? Well, see, we eat egg sandwiches not just for breakfast, though. Flipping soup, dude. Oh, Jesus. So, some like nice mild or sharp cheddar, that mustard mayo, light toasted bread, and then my egg can be anything, really. I prefer my egg to be like a medium fried, little bit of runny. You know what I mean? I don't want to be. I love over easy, but biting into a sandwich and having that stuff just like shoot all over the place, the yolk shoot all over the place, I'm not looking for that. If I'm gonna eat an egg, having just a little bit of runny in there is okay. You know what I mean? But I'm also okay with it just being like a hard fried egg. You know what I mean? Mustard is terrible. Somebody ban him. I'm just kidding. I respect it. I respect that. I like mustard though. I like mustard. Popular Star Wars game is practically given away for free. This is what we just talked about. So, did I link this, dude? I don't think I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did link that. Did I? Hold on. Wait. Yeah, okay, we're good. I was afraid maybe I closed another article, but I couldn't remember. Dude, my brain is so jacked today. Mustard isn't for everyone. No, it isn't. Dude, I like a lot of different condiments. The best one out there is blue cheese, you know? Blue cheese is the best condiment there ever was. But not everybody's going to like that either. You know, what about, like, you ever had, like, wasabi mayo? Wasabi mayo. Or even sriracha mayo, real good, real good, you know. A lot of good condiments out there. I guess that's my cue. Buy one, get one 50% off in Amazon's latest sale on video games, Blu-rays, and more. We're interested in the video game stuff here, so but you'll see this happen every once in a while. This is actually a pretty good sale. This is buy one, get one 50% off. Every once in a while, you'll see a sale happen where it'll be buy one, get one free. It's very rare, very rare. But you might be able to get a little bit of a sale here if you're interested. Amazon's currently offering some serious savings in its latest buy one, get one 50% off deal. They've got the link, so you can click it, see what they got. New sale features games such as RE4, Spider-Man 2, and the new Prince of Persia. Just to break it down for you, the sale means your cheapest item purchased will get a 50% discount. So if you stick a Blu-ray for $30 and a game for $40 in your basket, you will get the Blu-ray for $15, right? Yeah. Some of the notable video games: Spider-Man 2, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Resident Evil 4, MK1, Final Fantasy 16, Tekken 8, and more. Okay, so if you're interested in some software, get yourself a bit of a deal, maybe. See what you can get, okay? Crown Wars, The Black Prince. See what we got. The Black Prince demo version available during Steam Next Fest. Demo version from today, as part of Steam Next Fest. The game also gives more of a reveal through 2 videos highlighting major features of its gameplay, the different classes. Let's take a look at these. How long is this? Okay, hold on.
The War of Crowns rages on. Lead our forces into battle and save the realm. Our melee fighters will be our first line of defense. Crusaders, soldiers with towering strength. They attack with power, but with discipline, and can taunt their enemies to gain an advantage. They can unleash holy retribution against multiple enemies. Their sense of sacrifice increases their power if the end is near. Duelists, the most versatile fighters. They switch weapons at will to exploit their enemies' weaknesses. They deal massive critical hit damage by attacking targets from behind with their executioner skill. Beastmasters, controlling primal forces. Their dog or bear will follow commands and perform coordinated attacks.
I mean, I like dogs. Bear seems
They
better.
can also summon a Crowstorm to
Crowstorm
of enemy troops. Fight darkness with sword and wit.
That seems all right. Let's see the ranged.
War is not just about brutal combat. It takes aim and wit to conquer the battlefield.
Bro, why is this?
Our ranged fighters will surprise our enemies. Flayers, assassins lurking in the shadows.
Dude.
They are so quick that they can use consumables and interactive objects without being slowed down. They can rain blades down on an enemy and deal lots of damage when they target an enemy with the pincushion skill. Gunners, the explosive specialists, handle an experimental fire weapon. The effects are devastating, but take care. It's not hell, but it will seem like it. And the explosions leave the ground engulfed in flames. Alchemists, creators of potions. They distill the essence of our knowledge into a
Black
range
metal
of
alchemists.
extraordinary elixirs, which can give life or take it away. They can also perform their magnum opus to obliterate everything in their way. Fight darkness with sword and wit.
All right. With 6 playable classes, players can define their combat strategy by creating a unit with a variety of profiles, combining physical power and exceptional skills to inflict maximum damage on enemies. For close combat, you have the powerful and disciplined Crusaders, more versatile and adaptable Duelists, and finally the Beastmasters with their animal allies to form the first line of defense. But war is not restricted to savage combat. You also need to show a tactical brain to win on the battlefield. Further options are offered by the Flayers, assassins who are quick as they are powerful, the Gunners, explosives specialists, and alchemists, experts in potions. You will need to master these tactical options to put an end to the threat hanging over the kingdom. They've got a link to the Steam page and all that noise, so if you need it, here you go. Is Steam actually promoting Next Fest right now? No? Yeah, the Grand Blue Fantasy stuff's not rating super great. It got a little bit better. 84. It was like down in the 70s at first. It got a little bit better. That's good. All right. Keep going. One of the best PlayStation Plus free games is only available for 24 hours. One of the best PS5 PlayStation Plus free games is only available to download for another 24 hours. This did come out today. Come February 6th, the window for download of the game will be shut. The free PS Plus game in question. Let's get that popping. There we go. Hails from the year 2022, a year that saw... Okay, whatever. It's A Plague Tale Requiem. Nominated for Game of the Year that year. Currently free via PS Plus. It's random mode time. Try to get a free sub. Let's go. That's a couple of really weird emotes to win on. But hey, if you hit either one of those, you'll win. Get a free sub. Let's go. Also, this game is currently free via PS Plus. Not much longer alongside Evil West and Nobody Saves the World, both of which expire tomorrow. Most people know what A Plague Tale Requiem is. So take a look. You got 1 day left here. All right. Don't miss it if you're interested. I love pasta too. I just ate so much lasagna. Oh my God, it was so good. Call of Duty to embrace what? Open world campaigns in Black Ops, Gulf War, and beyond. This year, Call of Duty is set to embrace an open world campaign in Black Ops, Gulf War, Insider Gaming has learned. It won't be the first time. The series has seen an open world-esque campaign, though, as the first glimpse of what such a campaign could look like was first explored with Modern Warfare 3 and its open world missions. However, sources explain that unlike Modern Warfare 3, Gulf War's campaign has been built from the ground up rather than using assets from previous entries. Currently, the game's open world will see the player and their squad navigate the map more akin to that of Far Cry than anything we've seen before in the Call of Duty universe. Players will be able to utilize vehicles to get around, as well as using a fast travel system to get from one point to the next, although the scope of how many linear missions there will be remains to be seen. Sources confirm that some linear missions will be integrated into the game. Campaign developed by Raven Software will see the return of some Black Ops characters, including Adler, who will be a part of your team. Outside of Black Ops Gulf War, sources also revealed that it's likely the series could lean into more open-world campaigns over linear moving forward. Call of Duty 2025, codenamed Saturn, which currently doesn't have an assigned leading developer, is also pitched to have an open-world campaign, with the map being separated into several different biomes and locations. While the pitch for the game is very much in flux due to its early development, it was said that the campaign's shift from linear to open world is primarily based on streamlining development over anything else, but whether this changes or not by release is unclear. Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, currently forecasted to release in October of this year, will be the 6th entry into the Black Ops series. Yeah. It's just about October to November of every year you get a new Call of Duty, you know? Always got to have a new Call of Duty released every year because quantity over quality, right? Right? Right. GameStop has some Switch games available for $2. These are probably going to be pre-owned. These are new copies of each game, not pre-owned copies like many of the cheapest deals on GameStop. The two mystery Switch games are Call of Juarez Gunslinger, a 2013 game from Ubi and Techland. Second game is Wolfenstein Youngblood from Bethesda Machine Games and Arcane Lion. They've got the trailers for both games. Both of these games can be had at GameStop for $2 on Switch if you are interested. Okay? Don't know how long the sale will last, but if you're interested, now's the time. One of Steam's best building games finally getting full release this year. Coffee Stain Studios released Satisfactory into its early access period in 2019. Factory simulation game quickly became a fan favorite in the genre, bringing in a massive player base on Steam. Unlike many games that stick in early access for a year or so, Satisfactory has been in active development for the last 5 years. Coffee Stain has continuously updated Satisfactory over the years, and many wondered if it would ever leave early access. Recently, the developers officially confirmed that Satisfactory is going to have its 1.0 release, and that launch date is coming sometime this year. They didn't go. Coffee Stain didn't go into great detail about everything that's coming with Satisfactory's full release, but did say that players will have plenty of content to play through. This includes new in-game activities and an overarching narrative. Plus, the team is planning to fix many of the lingering bugs that have been plaguing Satisfactory over the years and is working to get dedicated servers up and running. Yeah. We'll get a better look at what exactly this means for the game, what 1.0 is whenever we approach that actual release, but we don't have a dedicated date yet, so we'll see. Bloody disgusting. New developer of video for Vampire Dynasty deep dives into storytelling. Announced back in November that Vampire Dynasty would be launching in early access this year. Me Human Games and Toplitz Productions have just revealed the first deep dive video for the upcoming action RPG. Video covers the storytelling process for Vampire Dynasty, as well as other elements such as the blend of action adventure with open world exploration, intense combat, and extensive castle building. Ooh-wee. That brings the fictional realm of Sengavia to life. In the video, Ian Gidraji, I probably butchered it, sound and game designer on Vampire Dynasty, gives an in-depth look at the storytelling process and the connected elements that are used to enhance the gaming experience and make Sengavia more tangible. Me Human Games is ensuring that their storytelling expands on the well-known myths and folklore that surrounds vampires while adding new twists. In Vampire Dynasty, you are a surviving victim of a vampire attack. Not only will you have to learn to utilize your newfound abilities, but also find a place in society where vampires are at the top of the food chain. To ensure the advancement of your vampire clan, you can either go at it alone, or team up with up to 3 more players in co-op mode, and explore the game's world, fight against vampire hunters, as well as build a castle to keep a testament to your eternal reign. Sounds like V Rising. Let's see this.
Welcome to the world of Vampire Dynasty. I am Ian Gidrich, sound and game designer at Me Human Games. Dynasty series features extensive management and building mechanics for
Those frames
everything
are rough.
manageable. Building a castle, managing thralls and vampires are important parts of our game, but as developers with experience in adventure games and fans of vampires in pop culture, we're bringing the story aspect to a new level in the franchise. You can expect fully voiced dialogues, full-blooded characters with their own motivations and tough moral choices.
The child will be killed.
What do you mean
That's
tough
my
moral
final
choices?
word.
You're a vampire.
The Eternal
You
Mother
slaughter
is
everybody.
concerned.
While Vampire Dynasty is a multiplayer game, the
Easy,
main
right?
character is Dragus, who is the team's spokesman. Still, all plot choices are made together by players.
Easy.
I wonder if, had I put up the money, it would have calmed the mood in the village.
The Eternal Mother would certainly have blessed Majesty. It would have been a chance to avoid bloodshed.
We created Sangavia taking inspiration from medieval Transylvania and also incorporating fantasy and mythical elements. Superstitions and legends about vampires become reality here. Sangavia's history has been a turbulent one. Humanity has just recently been freed from murder and slavery of vampires. Remnants of wars and ancient magic can be found in this world at every turn. It is into this world that Dragus and his companions are thrown. How will they balance taking care of the people with their increasing thirst for blood? Are they the only bloodsuckers who intend to rebuild vampire power? And finally, is it possible to create a dynasty whose dominion will last for eternity? You will get to know the answers to these and other questions as you wander through the world of Vampire Dynasty.
Interesting. Interesting. Vampire Dynasty, huh? I mean, the premise there is actually kind of interesting. Planned release this year, huh? We'll keep track. We'll see what it looks like when it releases. My expectations are not huge for this, but it's got like more of a third-person vibe of a V Rising kind of concept, you know? It's interesting. If you want to take a look at it on Steam, wishlisted or whatever, there it is. Spider-Man 2 dev, Insomniac Games, getting violent threats. Multiple Insomniac developers speak out in response to online harassment and violent threats from players in regards to Spider-Man 2. This is never acceptable. Never ever. This is stupid. This is bad. The fact that people feel, you know, like it's their prerogative and you know, that this is something that is within their rights to be able to do this kind of thing to other people, you know, is actually insane. We've talked about this a lot. You know, whether it be, I reference this a lot when it comes down to the relationship between us as consumers and video gaming enthusiasts and our relationship with developers, you know. And it's not most of us as gaming enthusiasts that conduct ourselves in this manner, but it's the few that do that make us all look bad. And it's unfortunate. It should never happen. There are things that have happened on you know, both sides of the playing field here that have been done to harm the relationship between us as consumers and gaming enthusiasts and the developer, whether it be the developers and publishers, you know, promoting games in a way that hypes us up about something they're not actually bringing to the table for their product, you know, whether it be lack of content, or you know, releasing unfinished products and baiting us into buying 13 million copies of, you know, Cyberpunk when the game should have never been released. I'm just giving it an example. You know what I mean? Never should have never been released. I mean, there's so many examples of games that were released prior to when they should have been. You know, that harms, that's jaded so many of us as consumers and gaming enthusiasts. And then there's things on this side of the, you know, the coin as well, where there are developers that try to have open lines of communication with us, and they have to shut those things down because they end up having to deal with this kind of nonsense, where they're getting death threats, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff, to the point of even people showing up at their place of work or even their private residence, you know, after having been doxxed or something, you know, and threatening them with violence. You know, that's crazy, dude. That's craziness. So, you know, again, there are things that need to be done on both sides to get the relationship between us and them back to something decent, you know. And absolutely agree, true. Disgusting behavior should never happen. It's unacceptable. We want the relationship between us and them to be good, right? We want developers to listen to us as a collective gaming community, gaming enthusiasts, to know what we want to see in these titles that we're interested in, these titles that, you know, these series that we love. And, you know, the more they listen to us, the more they're going to include things that we're interested in seeing in these games. That means a better experience for us all the way around, right? So the more that we're able to have open lines of communication, the better, right? We've seen it happen numerous times, but the few that make this really hard for us are the ones that do this kind of thing. It's unacceptable. It shouldn't happen. And, you know, in my opinion, they should face severe consequences for, you know, thinking that they have the right to do this kind of thing. To threaten people is over a video game. I mean, come on, man. What's going on in your headspace, dude? You know, like what has happened that you're letting a developer live rent free in your head like that? You know, that's insane, man. That's craziness. Let's get in here. And some fans of Marvel Spider-Man 2 have resorted to sending violent threats to developers due to a lack of updates and new content. Jesus Christ. Insomniac team members have responded to online harassment, asking for patience as they work to provide what fans want. Toxic fan behavior is a problem in the video game industry. It can never be justified. However, positive interaction between developers and gamers can lead to a better online environment. Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, I think what a lot of this is going to boil down to is, you know, do you really think that, I mean, I don't think we need to really read all of this, right? It's, we got the gist of it right here. I'll link it for everybody to read the rest of the article if you want. But, I mean, this basically boils down to what I promote a lot within this community and within our gaming community as well. For I wrote that article. Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like it, right? It literally does feel like this is what I preach about a lot, you know. If we you know, I think what this boils down to is, you know, you support the companies that are willing to do good by us as consumers and video gaming enthusiasts, you don't have these kinds of issues anyways, right? But the thing is, like, people need to learn how to be patient too. You know, if you think game development's easy, you're wrong. But dude, I'm sorry, if you're going after a company like Insomniac, what's wrong with you? Insomniac's one of the better developers in the industry, right? And I'm sorry, but you know, you buy a product outright in the first place, unless there's been some promise made to you about, you know, what you're definitively going to be getting from this product moving forward or anything like that. You know, you don't have a real leg to stand on, right? And you've got to be hyper aware of the fact that sometimes there are going to be games that come out that just don't get a lot of support after their initial release. That's just the way it goes sometimes, especially games that aren't live service games, and such as Spider-Man 2. But I mean, do you really think that you're going to look at Insomniac Games, anybody that knows anything about video games in the slightest, anybody that knows anything about the history of Insomniac, is going to go, oh, well, they're probably not going to support this game with any more content or any updates or anything? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? You know? Like, but there are people resorting to these kinds of... I think that what it comes down to is, like, again, a lot of what this boils down to is really support the good companies, don't support the bad companies. This is not... if you good companies show that they're going to take care of you, right? You don't have to worry about that. Just because you're impatient or whatever, get a grip, man. Get a flipping life. Play a different game. Read a flipping book. Watch a movie or something. You know what I mean? You need to learn how to deal better than just freaking out on a developer. Get a life, dude. I mean, I'm sorry, man. If this is the best thing you have to do with your time is freak out on a developer, a good developer like Insomniac, because you don't have anything better to do than threaten because they haven't given you an update soon enough, you've got some issues, man. But I do think a big part of this is, you support the good developers. The developers are going to take care of you in the products that you're purchasing in the gaming industry. And, you don't support the bad ones. The ones that are going to let you down. That's what this comes down to. But people need to get their crap together, man. People need to figure their crap out. This is insane. This is madness. This is madness. People that conduct themselves in this way are out of their minds. This is not the way human beings with any kind of modicum of like sensibility and civility conduct themselves. This is insaneness, and this cannot continue to happen, dude. I think that anybody that does this kind of thing absolutely needs to be tracked down and have some serious consequences imparted on them for threatening, you know what I mean, these people for just trying to do their jobs and stuff. This is craziness. Destiny 2 releases final Prime gaming rewards. Ferret brought this up the other day. We didn't really have an article to read, I don't think. So let's hit on this real quick. So there have been some key indicators, I think, that I don't think it's a real like big secret that Destiny 2 is kind of concluding to a large extent. I think that they've been kind of vocal about the fact this is going to be the last expansion DLC coming out, if I remember correctly, the one they're working on right now. They've been implementing certain kinds of mechanics where it makes it easier for new players to get in and play and level up and expedite the processes that used to take maybe more time for grinding and things like that. They've done some giveaways to get some of the older DLCs to people, like on Epic and things, so people can get in here and experience the game. I think they're kind of hitting towards the end of what Destiny 2 is going to be forever ever. I don't think they're going to continue to support this game with more content for moving forward after probably I think 2024 is probably going to be the end of it. 2024 is probably going to be the end of what we see in large part anyways for what Destiny 2 has content wise. I could be wrong, but it's a lot of indicators are leading me to believe that. This is another one. Destiny 2 is releasing their final Prime gaming rewards. They're no longer going to be on a contract to get rewards to people for Prime. Prime Gaming, and you know, it just seems like there's a lot of stuff that's culminating together to indicate that maybe Destiny 2 is really ramping down their development for what this game is going to continue to provide content-wise for gamers. It'll continue to be a game, don't get me wrong. It'll continue to have a presence. It'll continue to provide opportunity for people to play the game. I just think that for the most part, what it's going to continue to be and provide as far as new content and things of that nature is really kind of going to go away. So let's see what they're talking about here. Bungie reveals the final set of Prime Gaming rewards for Destiny 2, bringing the free content program to an end after 4 years. Bungie ends its 4-year partnership with Prime Gaming, making the final drop of free Destiny 2 content for players. The final set of February adds 4 additional items, including a timed Prime exclusive legendary shader. Destiny 2 players can still access the final Prime Gaming rewards until March 7th, and feature exclusive emotes, ships, sparrows, and shaders. Bungie announces the final Prime Gaming rewards drop, bringing the free Destiny 2 content program to an end after 4 years and 49 sets being released. Loot is a massive part of Destiny 2 experience, with tons of ways players can get their hands on new weapons and gear. The seasonal model of Destiny 2 has allowed Bungie to continue to bring new and revised loot back into the game, including the recent Riven's Wishes weekly quest, giving fans an opportunity to earn newer exotic armor, Last Wish raid weapons, as well as other rare materials. Bungie also has been leaning on collaborations with other franchises a bit more in recent years, as well, ranging from The Witcher, Fortnite, and even the Sony first-party IPs like Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, and God of War. However, the studio recently announced a surprising team-up with EA and BioWare, bringing the Mass Effect franchise into Destiny 2. Bungie promises more details to come, but for now, the armor sets reference Garrus Vakarian for Hunters, Commander Shepard for Titans, and Liara Sony for Warlocks. For those looking for more free content, Bungie also revealed a new Prime Gaming rewards drop that's available now. In its weekly blog post, Bungie confirmed that the 49th set of Destiny 2 content has arrived on the Prime Gaming rewards program. However, this latest Destiny 2 content drop is unique in that it will be the final one to launch on Prime Gaming rewards, with the promotion coming to an end after a lengthy period of time. The Destiny 2 Prime bundles began in January of 2020, spanning across 4 years, giving players access to a wealth of free cosmetic content, including emotes, sparrows, ships, weapons, and plenty more in that time. So what's in the February of 2024 Prime Gaming rewards? Looks like it's a Vehement Flock exotic emote, this. The Knuckle Bug exotic ship, this. The Directoria Stagita legendary sparrow, this. And the timed Prime exclusive legendary shader, this. With an extended season of the Wish due to the Final Shape delay, gear chasing has continued to become a major component for many players within Destiny 2, attempting to get the best rolls for this season's weapons. However, not every piece of armor or weapon from the 10-year history of Destiny has managed to return to the current game, with many fans continuing to request sets that have been seen only in cutscenes from the original game. So there you go. It is coming to an end. If you need anything out of that, I'll link it. And interesting news here from our buddy Soup. Exclusive, Microsoft plans Starfield launch for PlayStation 5. This isn't really brand new news for us. In large part, we've seen stuff already where Microsoft has been talking about releasing a lot of their first-party games on PlayStation's platform, other platforms, you know, other than just like their subscription service and their consoles. And like I talked about before today with when I was talking about this to Soup, I think that it makes sense for Xbox. I think this is a smart play by them. They've never done as well, even close, remotely close, hardware-wise. First party software sells, stuff like that, than PlayStation and Nintendo have. Now, where they've been able to remain competitive is that they've been much more progressive and inventive in the industry, especially on the console side of things, for doing things like cloud gaming, subscription service stuff, and that's provided them with the capability to remain competitive and a big part of the gaming industry. Right now, the thing that's made this an easy choice for them, I think, is the fact that they haven't been able to compete on the same level as PlayStation and Nintendo have with hardware sales and proprietary software sales. So for them, this is a smart play. They go, if we can't compete on that level, which they haven't, you can go look at the history of it. They don't make money off their hardware sales. I don't remember over the history of all their consoles, but especially right now, the Xbox Series X and S, the money they make is basically negligible. They lose money on one, they make very little on the other. It's basically breaking even. It's just trying to get people into their platform. They sell half as much hardware as PlayStation does, that they always have, and so they're finally kind of conceding this traditional console competitive war, if you will, about who can sell more hardware, who can sell more proprietary software. And I think that we've seen this transition coming for a while. It's just become official, right? Where they've since 2017 had their subscription service, which has been their golden goose ever since. They've been making a ton of money off of it. It's been a very good subscription service. I think the best in the industry for that time period up till now, especially the fact that they released their proprietary games, their first party games on that subscription service day one, which the other competitors don't do. They've tried to follow in Xbox's steps with to some extent, with the subscription services, but none of them match up with what Xbox has. And I think that for Xbox this just makes sense. They say, if we're not going to be able to compete on the same level as hardware sales and first party software sales, then what we do is we take the hardware, because again, even if they're selling hardware, they're not making money off hardware, right? So just take the hardware really out of the equation and start selling, their software on as many platforms as possible. Get the brand out there, get as many people into the subscription service as possible, get the branding out there, get as much software into people's hands as possible. The more platforms the software is on, the more people can buy it, and that's just a win, it looks like. I think this is a smart pivot, actually. Time will tell how well it plays out, right? But I think they've been fighting a losing war in the console front of gaming, and for quite a while. And to me, it's just an easy play, it seems like, for them to go ahead and make this move. Now, of course, PlayStation and Nintendo, being the traditional platforms they are, they're going to have a much harder time transitioning into anything like what Xbox has done. One, because they're still fairly successful doing what they always have done, but also because they're going to have a harder time embracing this notion of change in the way that the industry is evolving and moving forward with the way that people are accessing games. Not everybody wants to be buying into specific hardware anymore just for proprietary games. A lot of people are willing to buy into subscription services and don't care as much anymore about owning games outright as they used to. It's still a process of people, embracing that notion in large part, but it's happening, and there's a lot that it's a big time of change in the gaming industry, for especially the console side of things, and seeing how this whole process is going to evolve and how it's going to change the dynamic between a lot of these big console players, and time's going to tell how it moves forward, right? There's a lot of unknowns. Technology is always evolving. Technology is always going to play a part in it too, and how the technology evolves is how these gaming companies are going to end up being able to move forward as well. But we're seeing how it does feel like, to me anyways, Xbox and Microsoft have been a bit more progressive and inventive, and they needed to be to stay competitive. And So with all that preface for this, I mean, we'd already heard they were going to be bringing things like Hi-Fi Rush to other consoles, and now we're talking about, we're hearing Starfield's going to be hitting PS5, and I don't think this should be a real mind-blowing thing for people at this point, with the fact that we'd already heard there were going to be other proprietary games for Xbox hitting the other consoles as well, right? But for many weeks now, rumors have persisted regarding Microsoft's intentions to release a number of first-party games, namely Hi-Fi Rush, which I just talked about, and Sea of Thieves on rival platforms. According to our sources who have asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about company plans, that list of games also includes Bethesda's game studio's Starfield. Starfield released back in August of 2023 to fairly positive reception, despite the narrative that now exists online, and was the biggest Bethesda game launch of all time, surpassing 6 million players within a week of release. Now, it looks as though Microsoft is planning on bringing Bethesda's newest RPG universe to an entirely new platform, PlayStation 5, so that all the PlayStation gamers can also feel how bleak that game feels and empty. Sorry, but I digress. According to sources, we understand that currently Microsoft is planning a launch for Starfield on PlayStation 5 post the release of their already announced Shattered Space expansion for Xbox and PC, which is on target to arrive at some point later this year. We've also been informed that Microsoft have made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kits to support ongoing development efforts, adding further fuel to the fire. As the already existing rumors have suggested, the idea of bringing first-party titles to competing console platforms marks a massive change in strategy for Microsoft, and from what I understand, it's not been without fierce internal debate on this new direction. Releasing Starfield on PlayStation 5 contradicts the original statement around exclusivity made by President of Xbox Sarah Bond during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Studios Summer Showcase of 2021. But look, that's 2.5 years ago, and a lot has changed in that time, right? Quote, "It is awesome to share with you for the very first time on one of the most anticipated games in the world from Hod Towered, It Just Works, and the team at Bethesda Game Studios, a groundbreaking game, and yes, it's exclusive." According to our sources, Microsoft senior leadership have reportedly debated the various pros and cons of releasing more of their exclusive software elsewhere, and internally, not everyone is necessarily happy with the decision, but recouping the potential money left on the table by not releasing elsewhere has arguably won out. Yep, that's literally what it comes down to. While you were out of line, you aren't wrong. Wait, do what? What do you mean, Murdoch? What's up, buddy? How are you doing? While you were out of line, you weren't wrong. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, man. According to sources, Hi-Fi Rush's release on rival platforms is tentatively planned for Q1 of this year, and we've been advised to expect Microsoft to make a more public announcement on this new strategy this month. How do you feel about Starfield coming to PlayStation 5 after all? The bleakness of Starfield. Look, man, I just say that stuff because I know it gets everybody riled up, you know? I just say that because I know it gets everybody riled up. There's so many, there are a lot. There's every time I make a video about Starfield, you know, there's only two sides. Nobody's ever in the middle of this like argument. You know what I mean? There's always, and I haven't even played the game, so I don't really know. But there's a lot of people that get into the debates about the game and whether it's good or not. And the people that say no, they're always talking about just how bland the game is and how empty it feels and stuff like that, you know. So I just play to the side of violence, I guess, you know. I try to get people riled up a little bit, you know. It's fun sometimes. Oh man, but I mean, you know, honestly, I haven't played the game, so I can't really tell from experience or anything. But I mean, they told everybody in the development of that game too. They were like, look, you know, they're gonna be 9 out of 10 planets you go to are gonna feel empty. You know, we want this game to feel more like what you would expect out of what we know from our universe, and how if you were able to just go travel around planets, you know, what it would be like. You know, they said that in the development of this game. So I've got to expect that that is the way it feels to an extent, you know. They were pretty open about that during the development of the game. And I think, again, I think they at least have a lot of retail to work with moving forward, you know. If they've got all these just bald-ass planets out there and nothing on them, you know, then they've at least got a lot of retail to work with moving forward for expansion. I think that where they missed the mark was they weren't thinking about the fact of all they were focused on was what they wanted the game to feel like, you know, what they wanted it to be a representative, you know, to represent what we know of space. When really what they should have been focusing on was, you're making a game for people that have very small attention spans, man. You know what I mean? You're making a game for gamers. You know what I mean? You're flying around space. You want to see crap all the time, you know? They missed the entire, you know, point of why people want to play games. It's, you know, if everything you're doing in space is just kind of pointless, and you know, you're very rarely coming across anything worth looking at and exploring or whatever, you know, people are going to get bored with that pretty quick. You're making games for people that their attention spans are hot, dude, you know? So I think they did miss that a little bit, but they have retail to work with, you know, they're real estate. I mean, they've got a lot of potential there. Modders do too, but a lot of modders are like, dude, this game's balls. We don't want to work with this game, you know? Again, I think from the get-go, what I always expected this game to be was like Bethesda space, you know, and that's what people got. And if you like Bethesda, then you're cool with it. If you aren't a huge fan of the Bethesda recipe, you're probably a little bit turned off, you know. I think that's the way it's kind of gone with this. But it's funny, people just continue to debate this, whether this game is good or not, and it's funny. And now we're going to get all the PlayStation players in on this debate too. Yay! Yay!
And I think, yeah, I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description.
Oh, perfect, dude.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. Suspect wanted. Thanks, Murdoch. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, the last thing I have, man, is I told you so. You know, Suicide Squad is apparently balls. We talked about this earlier too, but I told everybody to wait until this game came out before you decided whether you were going to spend money on this or not. And if you heeded my advice, good for you. If you didn't, I told you so. I mean, I advise people definitely don't buy into the, you know, don't be a final beta tester for this game. I was right. The game, the servers were broken. You couldn't even play it. And now the game's come out, and most people are like, yeah, it's very mediocre at best. It's not that great. It's you know, it was a play for people's money is what this is. Look, you've got to look at the companies that are behind these games. And look, it feels bad for Rocksteady fans. It does. But this game had a lot of issues in development. It's also a game being published by WB. Rocksteady is a subsidiary of WB, right? WB is very, 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 very devoted to doing live service games as a service, which means they're trying to suck money out of people. And WB at the same time has a lot of franchises that they know people love. So they're going to play towards that. They're going to play towards this notion that they have a lot of people that are going to buy into games no matter what the quality of the game is. We've seen companies do this forever, ever now in the gaming industry, right? And it is weird. That is weird. I agree, true. I agree. But, I mean, you know, I think what we've heard is there's a little bit of some... Look, this is what I'll say. For the Steam reviews being positive, I think it's weird. I think it's going to go down. I do expect it to go down. I've been hearing that there's been some positive review bloating going on for the game that could be prompted by WB here in some form or fashion. I don't know what's going on. But when you look at a site like Metacritic and you see that the critic reviews are at a 62, and out of 637 user ratings, it's at a 3.8, and then you go look at Steam and it's at an 85. of over 2,500 reviews, something's wrong. There's something amiss. Something's wrong. It's weird. There's a disconnect. You know what I mean? This seems more like what I don't think the game's a 3.8. You know what I mean? I don't think this game, user score wise, is probably a 3.8. I think the game is probably closer to like this. I expected this game to probably be in a 60s to low 70s review from users and critics. And that's why I expect everything I know about this game to be sitting right around here, right? But this is why I tell you I don't think this game is going to be up around a high 70s or 80s positive score for users right now on release anyways. It doesn't mean this game couldn't potentially improve later on, as it is a game as a service. It does have the potential for, you know, things to be added to it, improved as we move forward and things. But right now, there is a reason why Rocksteady and WB would not push out early review copies of this game to review outlets. And there's only one reason. They didn't want review sites knowing what this game was like so that they could tell other people what the game was going to be like before it released. That was going to cut into their sales because this game isn't very good. There's only one reason they would do that. So I'm sorry, but with everything I know about the game, and especially the fact that they weren't going to let review sites review this game ahead of release, there's only one reason you would do that, and that's if you're not confident in your product. If you're not confident in your product, you're not going to let review sites review it, right? Because if they do, and you know your product's subpar, you know they're going to review it subpar, you know that means when people read it before it releases, people aren't going to buy it, right? That's the only reason they would have done that. That's the only reason. And so, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to believe that the reviews right now of 85 on Steam are going to be showing a true identifier of what the game is actually playing as. You know, this is too low, I think, but I think this is probably pretty true. I think the critic reviews are probably pretty on par here, to be honest. So, I don't know. I feel like this is probably a pretty good game to stay away from. You know what I mean? I've told everybody from the get-go, before this game was even close to release, that you should probably stay away from this. I think that as a game that is so riddled with monetization, there's no way this game should have come out at a AAA price point or even anything relatively close to a AAA price point, right? If anything, it should have been a free-to-play game, maybe a little bit above that, right? Maybe. But it didn't. And so what I would tell people is if you're actually interested in playing this game, you wait until it goes on a significant sale, or you play it on a subscription service. But you definitely don't pay full price for this game. Absolutely not. No way. No flipping way. That's the news, man. Yo, it feels good to be back. Again, this is gonna be a weird week. Tomorrow, okay, so tomorrow I actually have an appointment that I couldn't make for Wednesday. So Wednesday's our normal day off. Tomorrow, dude, I've got appointments set up for Wednesday. So because of what's gone on with me having to take this past weekend off, and because I've probably got some more time coming up to take off because we had a death in the family, I would probably just stream on Wednesday, but I've got appointments set up that can't be missed. So Wednesday will probably be a day off again. I'll let you guys know for sure tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be a weird day because I have to do the news, and then I have to leave for an appointment, and then I'll come back and start to stream back up to game the rest of the day. I'll probably be down for about an hour. So it shouldn't take me too long, but I've got to go do a quick appointment, come back after the news. So that's just the way it's got to go. There's a lot of stuff going on Wednesday, so I probably won't be able to stream, even though I probably normally would because of everything that has happened here recently with me having to miss streaming time, I would just try to not take Wednesday off as I normally would to try and compensate for the fact that make up for the fact that I'm having to take so much time off right now, because I feel bad about that, and I want to make it up to you guys. So but I don't think I'll be able to do that on Wednesday. I'll let you guys know as soon as possible, like what the schedule is going to be like coming up. I just don't know yet. So we obviously had to miss this weekend to be with family, and then now, because we have had a death in the family last night, we're going to have some time coming up for services and memorial and stuff like that. So it'll probably be sometime around this weekend. So just be aware, okay? I'll let everybody know as soon as I can that what the schedule will be, and I'll do my very best to get as much stream time in, because again, I love to do this. I love to be here with you guys. This is my jam. This is what makes me happy, and I love to do this, but family is important too, and so with that means that I'm going to have a little bit more time off coming up to be with family for this time that everybody's dealing with right now. So but I'll let you guys know, okay? Thanks for understanding first and foremost about what this is going on with the family, and the fact that I do need to have a little bit of extra time off that wasn't expected, okay? And I'll do my very best to try to figure out a way to make it up to you guys and the community and everything, So I don't know. I guess that's kind of the jam for right now, and I'll continue to update you guys as we move forward. But like I said, whenever I began the stream today, shout out to Bob. Rip Bob, dude. Bob was an amazing individual. We'll be using Bob Ross emotes to pay tribute to my family member that passed. Bob, he was a good dude, and we're all gonna miss him, and I think that the best thing that I can do here in this community, and we can do in this community, is to pay some tribute for Bob. There you go, True. Thanks, I appreciate it. So we'll just be popping off some Bob emotes as often as we can here, just to pay some tribute. If you guys would help me out with that for just keeping Bob in our thoughts and everything during this week until I take back off. So on that note, if anybody's been able to hang out today, you're not familiar with what we do, man. I normally stream 6 days a week. Usually it's just Wednesdays off. It's been a bit of a weird week so far with just some personal life stuff going on, and so I'm having to take a little bit of extra time off, but normally it's just Wednesdays off, and we start at roughly 6 a.m. CST CDT. We begin with video gaming news, where we always flesh out all of these ideas and hot topics about what's going on in the video gaming industry, and then we go play games for the rest of the day. So we've got an amazing community of people here, always taking care of one another, and obviously video games is what brings us together. We're all gamers, and we love gaming together and having a good time and stuff, but it's also about creating an actual caring community here, welcoming and caring, taking care of one another, spreading good vibes, being civil about things, and just trying to be void of toxicity and negativity and things like that. There's enough of that crap in the world, dude, that we're trying to cultivate a place here where people can come and not have to deal with a lot of that kind of stuff. So if you can dig it, man, come be a part of what we do when we are live. We're always looking for more good peoples to be a part of what we do when we're live, man. So other than that, man, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend while I was away, and we'll have a great week until I need to take back off to go spend time with family. But until tomorrow, whenever we do more video gaming news for February 6th, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I don't know. I'm gonna run us an outro here. Big love, yo. I'll run us an outro. Stream's not over. I'm not going anywhere. Just a nice little outro to kind of segue us out of here. And as soon as the outro is done, I'll be right back, and we'll start getting ready for some gaming stuff. Cool. You guys rock. I appreciate you. I'll be right back.